A new poll finds that the majority of Canadians asked support the construction and expansion of new road infrastructure, including Highway 413, the Bradford Bypass, and the Ring of Fire. The poll was conducted by the Residential and Civil Construction Alliance of Ontario and the Ontario Road Builders Association. And for more on this, we're joined by Nadia Todorova, the Executive Director of the Residential and Civil Construction Alliance of Ontario. So first off, let's talk about this. The report was 47 pages.
Yes.
Overwhelmingly, there was support.
Yes, absolutely. So part of the reason why we wanted to do this polling, we wanted to get a sense of what Ontarians feel regarding the recent statement by Federal Minister of Environment Stephen Guilbeault, who said that the federal government should stop investing in new road infrastructure. And from our perspective, that was quite shocking because, you know, the province of Ontario is experiencing significant growth. It's supposed to see 1 million people every 5 years for the foreseeable future, and our current capacity, highway capacity, is at near or yes.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to interject right there. No, I was going to say, you know, along those lines, we all know that there's so much congestion in and around the GTA. You know, how will Highway 413 and the Bradford Bypass, rather, how will it help anything?
Oh, it's going to create a lot of capacity, especially in the northern part of the GTA, which is one of the fastest growing regions of Ontario. And it's really going to help with the movement of goods and the movement of people. You know, congestion costs $11 billion a year, and there's $780 million worth of goods that pass across our road network every single day. And again, given the population expansion that we're going to be seeing, we need to make sure that we're building for the future. You know, I sat on the DVP coming down here, and that's a great example of infrastructure that was built in the 50s and the 60s, not really thinking about the future. And I think it's incumbent upon us, and that's really what the poll suggests, that Ontarians understand and they recognize the need for that new infrastructure. And if Ontario wants to be prosperous, and I think we all want that, is we need that new road infrastructure, including Highway 413, the Bradford Bypass, and Ring of Fire.
And along with that is the price tag. It hasn't been clearly defined just yet. At the same time, we're also in a cost of living crisis. So, you know, we do have to ask, how can, you know, this amount be justified?
I think, again, just given what's in the line in terms of the cost of congestion, again, $11 billion, how important it is for the movement of goods and people, it's really a trade-off that, again, as the poll suggests, Ontarians are happy with because, again, they sit in traffic, they see the consequences of lack of infrastructure. So I think they're very much committed to building that new infrastructure for the future, and they understand that the prosperity of Ontario is really tied to building.
And Nadia, I do have to ask you, you know, some of the critics are saying this is going to take away from the green belt. This is going to take away, you know, farmland. We have to address that. What research has gone into this?
Absolutely. So what I would say is Ontario has some of the most stringent environmental regulations. They're very comprehensive across in Canada. In addition to that, our industry is very much employs leading environmental standards and elements to mitigate any concerns that there might be in any construction projects. You know, for example, when recently there was widening of Milton, of the 401 in Milton, there were 4 species at risk that were found. One of them, the red-side dace. And what the constructor did is had modified working hours around all the water courses to make sure that there was no impacts and any impacts were mitigated to the species at risk. So again, bringing it back to a growing province requires growing infrastructure, and we need to build that infrastructure. And I think the poll is very clear on those results.
And, you know, going back to the cost of living crisis, if we're talking about tolls, if, you know, we have a look at that when it comes to the Highway 413, who exactly will benefit?
I mean, I think everyone, all Ontarians will benefit from taking that highway. Again, it's going to really enable trade routes around the province, but also in terms of interprovincial trade as well. So I think the benefits are so significant. And again, the poll is very clear in those benefits and the support that it has.
Okay, and it's 47 pages. Nadia Todorova, Executive Director of the Residential and Civil Construction Alliance of Ontario. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.